Hi everyone, it's Michael Sky. Welcome back to the fourth and final video in the Carpe Diem video series. I've just moved to a new place here, making this video series for you as I travel. I'm here on Ilha Bela, which is an island off the southern coast of Brazil. Its name, literally translated from Portuguese to English, means beautiful island. Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to take my next step in showing you how you can get away for that long sabbatical you so deserve. How you can seize the day and say yes. Now, one of the things I'm going to talk about is a course that I'm preparing for you. And this is the course that if I could have made a course to show myself how it was possible to break free from the stressful rat race many years ago and start traveling the world, this is the course that I would make, all right? I want you to have it. Let's go ahead and get started inside where the sun's not quite so bright. Go ahead and come inside with me where it's quieter. All right, first, as we begin, I just want to thank everyone who's been writing in and sending their excitement and their dreams for how they want to travel or just get away. I also want to thank you all for your patience. I'm making these videos from the road. My plans have just changed. Instead of going to Costa Rica, I've been invited to Hawaii, and I've been gifted a plane ticket there, so I said yes to Hawaii. And then after that, I'm off to Thailand. And as we get started today, I'm just so excited about what I have to share with you. What I'm going to share with you can change your life. Seriously, change your life. Now, even if you don't have dreams of taking long sabbaticals or having a life full of long sabbaticals or world travel, what I'm going to share with you can change your life forever, because what it's going to do for you is give you options. When you realize that you can access a wealth that's out there in other economies, we talked about the sharing economy, the gift economy, we talked about the gray economy. These things are invaluable as you travel, yes, but they're also invaluable back home. And the skills I'm going to give you, this is about navigating the unknown. This is about making connections with strangers. The course that I'm offering, the skills that you'll learn in this course, they are applicable anywhere. If you can learn how to connect with people in a way to where they give you things, they support your visions, they support your desires, they invite you to come and see them. And when you learn how to move in these ways, you can relax, connect to your heart, and experience a much more connected way of life. So that's what I really want for you. And as you listen to today's video, pay attention to how this can benefit you, regardless of what it is that you want. Now, the course I'm creating is the course that I would want to give myself about 20 years ago. Now, I'm going to give you information in this video that's going to be applicable whether you come and participate in my course or not. So I really hope you pay attention. All right, so the first big concept that I want to share with you is something I call a gateway sabbatical. A gateway sabbatical is when you maybe turn a vacation, let's say a 2-week vacation, into maybe a month-long journey of a certain kind. Now, one gateway sabbatical is what we call the seed sabbatical. I talked about in this first video. And in a seed sabbatical, you go and you give so generously to people somewhere in the world that for the rest of your life, they're inviting you back to come and stay with them. They're making your return journeys easy, inexpensive, safe, etc., etc. What you need is a gateway sabbatical to just test it out. Go and turn your next vacation into a gateway sabbatical, and a whole world can open up to you. Let me tell you about another kind of gateway sabbatical. This you could call a scouting sabbatical. This is for people who, if you've ever wanted to live abroad, Or if you've wanted to expatriate, maybe just go somewhere else. Maybe you're not vibing with the direction of the politics or the economy or the culture in the US. And that's fine. Believe me, I completely understand that. And once you've experienced life in different cultures, living in different places, you realize you have so many other opportunities for economies and cultures and this sort of thing. You might become a lot less tolerant of what you're tolerating now in your home country. So if you've ever dreamed of either living abroad for a few years, maybe on the coast of Italy somewhere, wherever it is. My brother, so let me give you an example. My brother took a scouting sabbatical to Panama. And he'd heard that Panama is an easy transition for someone who's moving out of the country. And it is. They use the US dollar. There's a lot of reasons why Panama is a pretty easy country to transition to. Now, he turned a 2-week vacation into a 3 or 4 week scouting sabbatical. Now, what he did is he went and met people, he explored the place, he found out, is this a place I could live? How does it feel for me? He did enough so that when he returned to the States, he's like, yeah, I feel comfortable there, I like it there, and I can run my business from there. And he did. He packed up his stuff, he got rid of his place, he got rid of his vehicles, and he took that extra money, he went to Panama, and he signed a lease on a condo. He brought his 2 dogs. There's been a lot of people saying, well, Michael, what do I do? I've got my pets with me. This is one idea, okay? So he took his dogs with him, took his girlfriend with him. They spent a year in Panama, and then after they were even more comfortable with life in Panama, they upgraded. And they moved, so check this out. They moved to a little hut over top of the ocean, right? Imagine this. On an island. Got a little boat, would wake up to the sun rising over the ocean. Imagine that, all right? Guess how much they paid? Guess how much? All 4 of them in this hut over the ocean. $500 a month only. And he ran his successful, growing business based on the internet from his little hut on this island. All right, so you don't need an internet business to do that, okay? I mean, even if you had a little bit of savings, you could do that. It's so inexpensive. But so a scouting sabbatical is another kind of gateway sabbatical, opens a whole new world for you. Let's see, one other type of gateway sabbatical I'm just going to mention here, but we have a whole module on this, an in-depth teleseminar inside of my course on gateway sabbaticals and choosing one that fits for you, that's going to open up a whole new world for you and make it easy for you to either go and travel or go and live somewhere else. Now, another kind of a gateway sabbatical would be when you have a dream of being a digital nomad. Hey, as a digital nomad, when you make your money from the internet, you can live anywhere in the world so long as they have decent internet. And all over the world now, even in places like Kenya, you can access good internet. It's more difficult in Africa, don't get me wrong, but you can do it. All right? So if I wanted to become a digital nomad, here's what I would do. I would do a gateway sabbatical to Chiang Mai, Thailand. Chiang Mai, Thailand. This is an incredibly easy city to transition to go spend a month in. So consider turning your next 2-week vacation into a digital nomad hub sabbatical, right? This is a gateway sabbatical for those who want to be digital nomads. And the city is full of digital nomads, many from the US, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, places overseas. And just spending like a month there, meeting people, checking out how things are done, of course enjoying the sights and the adventures and things you can do there, but also playing around with working from there. Going to the cafes, checking out the Wi-Fi, just getting a sense of what would it be like to live here for 6 months or a year and work from here. It's so beautiful. You can easily participate in yoga there. if you've been working on the laptop a bit and you're like, oh man, I need a massage. It's $7 for a Thai massage. A Thai massage, the most amazing massage in the world. You keep your clothes on, and it's a really beautiful, like spiritual massage, but really tough. These little Thai women just get on top of you and practically kill you, But it feels amazing, and especially when you're done, and then you can go back and spend a few more hours making your money. Now, the thing about a digital nomad hub sabbatical that is so cool is you can live incredibly cheap. So you don't need to make that much money from the internet if your expenses are tiny. Now, I've got this favorite city in Thailand, has great internet, has great food. I paid $100 a night, excuse me, $100 a month, $100 a month for my place in Thailand. This was hot water. This was a balcony with a view of a Thai temple. This included my utilities, included internet. All right, need I go on? So I think it's really important. What I really want for you is to turn your next vacation into some kind of gateway sabbatical that when you go on it, it'll open up a whole new world for you. And these questions you have about, well, I don't think I can start traveling this way or going on long sabbaticals, those questions become answered. If you take nothing else from these Carpe Diem videos I'm sharing with you, go on a gateway sabbatical, a kind that really lights you up, because once you realize that something like that is an option, you never have to sit there and take it anymore from a boss that's breathing down your neck and having you sell your soul. Okay, now you might have a great job and all that, but some of us are tolerating stuff that we don't need to. Okay, so go on a gateway sabbatical. All right. Okay, now before I go on, I want to mention one other thing. I saw a comment from a woman that said, Michael, this looks incredibly naive. You need like work visas and all this stuff to do what you're doing. Actually, you don't. Thailand, for example, you want to go be a digital nomad in Thailand? Go and be a digital nomad in Thailand. Most of the people who do it go there on a tourist visa. There's all kinds of visas that you can get. And we can talk about that inside of my course, but take it from me as a 7-year permanent traveler who has no desire to stop. There's ways to do almost everything that you want to do. This leads me to my next point, my next tip for this video. And this is get a guide. Find a guide who has access to this way of traveling and getting away for long sabbaticals that you feel a connection with and you want to go with. Now that may be me, and I really hope it is, because I so want to show you this world that I'm playing in that I never really knew existed. Now, this course that I'm leading, this is me being your guide. And we are going to journey together. When I go to Hawaii, I'm going to take you. My brother's there, by the way, who went to Panama. I'm going to interview him. We're going to talk about how he made his transition. When we go to Thailand, wow, I've got some amazing people I want you to meet in Thailand. And these are other people that if you connect with them, they can also be your guide. I want to introduce you to this amazing Pakistani British woman. World traveler, she does these amazing projects. Such an inspiring woman, and just a petite little thing, a tiny little thing. Travels by herself all over the world. So I've got comments from women saying, Michael, what if I'm a woman traveling alone? The world, it's a dangerous place. You gotta meet this Pakistani British woman, Farah. She's really incredible. Now, inside of this course, I've also talked to my friend I mentioned in, I think, the second video or my audio, who's been traveling India and traveling the world as a woman by herself, incredibly inexpensively. She said that she'll sit down with us and do an interview, and we can all ask our questions. But if you're a woman, you're thinking of traveling alone, get to know some other women who are doing this, and I want to introduce you to some in my course. All right, so a guide. Find someone who you connect with, who's been there, done that, what you want to do, and go with them. Now, there's a lot of information on the internet. Information is not, we're not lacking for information. Everything's on the internet. But when you connect with someone who's living how you want to live, and who has some wisdom that you don't yet have, who has connections that you don't yet have, who can move in ways that you can't yet move, it's not a matter of information. It's about seeing how they do it. It's about watching them. It's about moving with them. All right, so this is the second big tip I have for you in today's video is get a guide who you like and trust, who's been there, done that. All right, so my third big tip for you in today's video is generate a river of invitations. This is something that I have in my life. I find life is so much more beautiful and magical when people are constantly extending invitations to me. And some people have commented, well, Michael, I don't have anyone overseas inviting me. So in this course, I'm going to show you how to generate a river of invitations. All right, now let me tell you about some of these modules inside of my course. Okay, so in one of the modules in my course, what we're going to talk about, what we're going to work on is starting to share your desire, whatever your desire is for world travel, for a new way of living, for a simpler life, for getting away to Alaska to live off the land, whatever it is. The first big thing to start generating a river of invitations is to really start sharing your desires. And not just that, but taking action. All right? So beginning to move your life in the direction of the desires and the dreams that you have, because this inspires people. This is also what's going to have people extend invitations to you. And inside of my course, I'm going to share with you how I do this. All right, the second big thing I would recommend to start generating a river of beautiful invitations that come to you is giving. Start giving. All right? And there are so many ways to give. I'm not talking about giving money. I'm not talking about giving things necessarily. I'm talking about all kinds of other ways that you can give. Now, for me, my whole life changed when I shifted to a gifting orientation. This started in Africa, as I said, and it's revolutionized my life. All right, so we're going to spend at least one module in this course talking about what gifts do you have to give and how can you give them. There are many gifts that you have to give that you've been given from your culture, from your upbringing, from the family that you were raised in, from the language that you speak, that you might not realize are a gift for other people when you travel. So we're going to spend a module on that. We're going to do another module on a way of communicating in the gifting economy. All right, so in the gifting economy, it's very different from the market economy. Okay, we're not selling. We're not bartering, we're not trading, we're not negotiating, all right? It's not tit for tat. It's not like, well, I gave this to you, now you need to give this to me. It's not like that at all, okay? So in my 7 years of journeying and moving this in the gift economy, I've discovered a whole new language for gifting, and it's beautiful. When you start communicating in this way, you change. Your heart opens more. You let things go easier. You're less stressed. Life becomes more beautiful. Now, another gift that you can give as you travel is the secrets of how you're traveling so inexpensively. You know, people always ask me as I travel, Michael, how are you doing this? How are you making this kind of life possible? And I share with them. I teach them what I'm doing. This is a great gift that I bring, and I love to talk about it. So it's a way that I connect to people, and it's something that I bring. They want to know how, and I share with them how. This is another way I receive invitations, because people, they want to suck up the insights that I have. They want to learn with me. They want to be around me. And this brings me to another point. Another gift that you can give is your vision for a more beautiful world. Now, once you start traveling in these kind of ways, your idea of humanity might shift. You might realize that the world's not the dangerous place that you see on the news every day. You might realize that humanity is not as violent and aggressive and threatening as you might think if you're paying attention to the mainstream media. Okay, so I have been given to so generously from people from so many cultures that it's opened my heart, and it's just floored me with how generous people are all around the world. I've heard someone responded in the comments that, Michael, I would never want to travel to Brazil. It's such a dangerous place, such a violent place. I've been to Brazil 5 times now. I've lived a total of like 18 months in Brazil. If you take out a couple parts of a few of the big cities, Brazil is an amazingly beautiful, generous place, and the people are incredible. How the people invite you in South America and Brazil and Colombia, they just, if you haven't traveled like this, you need to do it. You really got to do it. All right? And it's life-changing. All right, now I mentioned traveling inexpensively, and there are more than 30 ways to travel for free. And there's plenty more ways to travel really inexpensively. So that's an entire module in my course, an in-depth teleseminar. I'm going to reveal things I haven't even talked about in these videos, haven't had time to. So bring all your questions. All you need is 1 or 2 that can work for you, to make this kind of travel and lifestyle easy. All right, now, we're going to spend another whole in-depth module on the free stays and inexpensive stays around the world. I've stayed in multi-million-dollar places on the beach for free. I've stayed in elephant dung huts for free. So, and everything in between. It's not, you don't have to be lacking money to enjoy free stays. And better than free stays, which is when it's a gift from someone else's heart. A lot of times, people who travel with a lot of money and they're just doing the luxury travel, they never really experience the beauty of the kind of travel where people just give to you from their heart. And some of the most generous people I've met are the people who are the poorest in terms of money. Some of the most generous people in the world are the poorest in terms of money. But what they have a wealth of is love, is time, is connection with family, and is this way of giving. All right, so when you start traveling like this, people all over the world are going to want to know, how are you doing it? And just sharing with them is a gift. And remember, this opens the flood of invitations, the river of invitations, that makes it easier, safer to travel the world. Okay, I get so excited, just need to take a breath. But more than anything in the world, I want to share all of this with you. And I'm putting it in my course, okay? So if there's one course that you can take, to make it so you realize, I don't need to put up with the life that I'm putting up with now, let this be your course, all right? I really hope you join me in the course. Now, what good are a river of invitations if you don't have the freedom to say yes to those invitations? If someone from Africa or India or South America, Central America, Asia invites you to come stay with me for a month, in this beautiful paradise, in this whole other rich culture. But you're like, well, I can't because X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Kind of sucks, right? So we're going to spend a module in this course, in depth, working on getting you freer with your lifestyle back home So when those invitations come, it's a lot easier to just seize the day and say, yes, yes, I'm going. All right? So, critically important. What good are invitations if we can't say yes? All right? And that has to do with, for example, if you're signing up to contracts with everything. I know when I lived back in the States, everyone these days wants you to sign a contract for everything. Yeah, they want to lock you in so you can pay for a year or for your entire life or something. Screw that, I want to be free. And anyway, you can hear my passion there. I want you to be free too. So we're going to dive into making you freer so you can say yes to those invitations. All right, now there's another special module I've got for you inside of this course, and it's about getting the money together, right, to say yes. You don't always need money to say yes to an invitation, but sometimes you do. And there's a former girlfriend of mine who, she heard I was going to Australia, and she really wanted to go. I was doing an event there. She enjoys the work that I do. She wanted to participate in that, and she wanted to go from Australia to Bali. Her heart had like this deep longing for Bali. She didn't know why, but it was just calling her there. And she was really overwhelmed because she was having difficulty getting the money together to go. And I told her, let me help you. Now, I say it that way because I really had to insist, And in places like America, for example, we have such a resistance many times to just letting someone help us, letting someone give to us. And she's a very, independent woman, but she let me help her. Now, we raised the money from friends, family, clients, people who wanted to support her journey. Once she shared with them her desires in a certain way, they wanted to support her, and they gave to her. She went to Australia, then she went to Bali, and in Bali she met her soulmate. He's a Frenchman and travel photographer, so they got married, went home, they shared the videos and photos and the story with all their friends and family. This for her was like a miracle, and I got to help her, make her dream come true. And I got to be a key piece of her, probably the biggest story of her life, which was amazing. Now, she married a French guy and a travel photographer, so she has invitations to travel the world now, go to France, meet the rest of her extended family. So in this module, I'm going to share with you the exact things that we did, the emails that we sent out to her friends and family, everything that opened the doors to have money flow to her to make this trip possible for her. I can't promise that when you go to Bali, you're going to meet a French travel photographer and fall in love and live happily ever after. But this is just the thing. You don't know the opportunities that you're missing by staying home. Some people have written to me and said, Michael, I'd really like to travel in this way, but I might fall behind in my career. Some clients might leave. Maybe I'll get fired from my job. Whatever. Yes, if you go away and travel for a long time, there are opportunities you'll miss back home. But you're already missing opportunities overseas. Already. Not just romantic opportunities, financial opportunities. When I went to Brazil for the first time, I'd been invited there by my friend for 4 years. I always said no. Didn't make sense. My business was just getting established in the States. Didn't make financial sense. I only know one person. I don't speak Portuguese. Finally, when I went, I had the easiest time promoting my work. Other people were spreading word of my work. People were signing up to come and pay. They wanted to be my client because, for one reason, I spoke perfect English, and they wanted to learn English. It was just, there were all these added benefits to them working with me rather than someone else. This was on my first year of travel. So if you're thinking that you can't travel the world because you might miss opportunities back home, I just want to let you know you're already missing them by not traveling. So take that into consideration. All right, so another module that we're gonna do is how to start mobilizing your money now. Okay, so if you have just a few ways that as you're traveling, you can be bringing in money, and if you're traveling super inexpensively, there's not very much you need to be able to continue your travels. So even if you think, well, that's not possible for me, or I don't want to do that, you might find in this module that there are some fun, exciting ways that you would like to do it just part time or now and again as you travel to make some money. All right, so those are the basic modules that I've planned for this course. But what I'm also going to do for you is once a week, we're going to get on a call, either be a teleseminar or a webinar. Maybe it depends how good my Wi-Fi is where I am in the world. But we're going to get together and I'm going to just answer the questions that are coming up. I'm going to help you enter this other world that might seem far off or difficult to access. All right? So I really hope you say yes to this journey, this course that I'm offering. And my prayer is that it's a gateway to a life of far less stress, where life happens slower with ease. It's magical. You receive invitations from around the world. You're living a life of giving and service and all the joy that that brings. That's my hope for you with this course. What this course offers is absolutely priceless. A whole new life, a whole new possibilities, ways to travel, see the world, go on long sabbaticals. I mean, really, priceless. Now, if you put it in terms of how much money you're going to save just using the tips I'm giving for free and inexpensive stays around the world and free and inexpensive travel around the world, I mean, it's easily in the tens of thousands of dollars. Now, I know many of you watching this and many of you who've been invited to the Carpe Diem video series, you don't think it's really possible for you. Or, and maybe you're just looking for, how can I just maybe take longer vacations and spend half as much and maybe take them twice as often. And I think a lot of you in that boat. So I'm going to do a price that's going to make it an easy yes for you to sign up for this course, okay? Now, once you do the course, you're going to realize that your whole life is going to change. And what I just invited you into was a whole nother world where a lot more is possible than you ever realized at the outset, okay? But because my costs are extremely low, I can afford to do this for a low price. Now, it is my time, which is precious to me, and it is a lot of work that I'm doing here for you to organize this all and to go to Thailand and to make these interviews and to answer your questions, to put together the videos, all this. It is my time. So the price that I'm going to charge you is $197. Okay? $197. Now that's less than one night in a resort hotel on vacation somewhere. So in my view, that's a no-brainer, a complete no-brainer. So I hope you join me. All right, so if you're ready to register, you can click the button below, register, and then I'll see you in the inside. We'll hook you up with the private Facebook group. You can meet everyone else who's said yes, seize the day. Yes, I'm going to take my life into my own hands in this way, travel the world if I want, take long sabbaticals when I want, and simply have the freedom to not tolerate any more BS in my current environment. That's what I want for you. Sometimes in life, we only get one chance. I hope you will seize the day, say yes, take the chance, and come with me on this journey. Register for my course below. It's going to be like any other course that you've ever taken, I promise. And I'll see you on the inside.